we find ourselves in a world where we live in expectation and anticipation of good things. We hope that whatever is good will last, whatever is beautiful will endure or increase, whatever is not beautiful will go away, disappear, or maybe at least stop bothering me. But the question remains of the fear remains, the fear of the loss of what I have, the disappointment of not having what I want. And to the extent I face it, I question, I ask, what does it mean? How do I make sense of this reality in which I face sudden or gradual disappointments, shocks by the life plans I have? They suddenly, unexpectedly almost get subverted by the news of some sickness that afflicts me or someone I love or some loss around me. And suddenly all that life plan that I have, safety and assurance that I have, the trust that I have that things will just continue in a good way and towards something better, get shattered. And when they do shatter, I find myself very disappointed, very averse. And what has happened troubles me greatly, and I want to be away from it. I don't want it. And so when I turned to Revelation, I was struck by the notion of Satan, and also by this notion of Satan being the accursed or Rajim, something you want to throw stones at or you want it to go away. And I was asking myself, what is my Maker telling me when he tells me that he has created, or in my reality, I can see, or I should try to see, Shaitan is Rajim. There is something in this reality that I experience as Rajim, something that I get upset with, disappointed with, and the Quran is giving a language for it that is Satan. What I found Rajim in my life is that without realizing, I had accepted a false promise. And as that promise turns out to be false, it breaks my heart and it hurts. And that is the revelation and the realization that the promise that I had trusted, it was a false promise. What is this puzzling events in my life, these disruptions, these things that I don't want, but they happen or they accumulate so much that you're like, why is my life just a struggle of trying to look at the bright side? And the question becomes like, no, it shouldn't be like this. Or if it is like this, life is terrible and really I don't want it. Or you say, well, what is the meaning of this? And so when I looked to the meaning, I found that what Revelation is bringing to me is the refuge from the accursed Satan. What is the truth of that Shaitan Rajim in my life is that it is the disappointment, the dislike, the aversion, the hatred, the frustration that I have with a false promise. And what it tells me is that as I, for example, live my life and find it something wonderful, I would like it to be more wonderful and like to have life and not lose it. I am, without realizing, I'm in love with this life and I trust this life to be a beautiful thing as it appears to be. If life was unbearable and ugly completely, I wouldn't be deceived. But it is so wonderful. There's so many things that are so wonderful. Just being alive, just having these relations, hopes, good things happening to people, getting happy. There's so many things to look forward to that I'm in love with life. I'm in love with the hope of it being better. What I don't have, I will get, hopefully, and what I have, I won't lose. And so this is my trust in life itself. When I do that, we find ourselves heartbroken because we lose that life that we have put our trust in to fulfill us. It doesn't deliver. And the revelation comes and says, look, you put your trust in something that was a false promise. What you sought and what you loved, your meaning for those things, they were, let's say, they were assigned to you. Like you have life, maybe you have good health. And for you, that was a sign that I'm going to have this forever, but it's a false forever. So this betrayal and the disappointment and therefore this anger I feel, the scream that we feel towards life or the world, Revelation comes and says that is that false promise that you saw as the source of what you love or what you saw as lovable in itself. And you were wrong. That is the Shaitan al-Rajim. When you take something to be what you truly love in this world, it will disappoint you. And when it disappoints you, you will feel like angry towards it and hitting it with stones. And I say, the revelation I found in my life is true to my experience. I live in a world where there is Shaitan al-Rajim. And when and if I follow this perspective, I end up very hurt. Whenever I feel this life here I'm living is mine, or this life is there to be lived and enjoyed by me without any notion of what is the truth about this life, it becomes something hated to me. And I might deny it, I might cover it, I might not like to focus on it. And I found the verse when it's saying, when you come to the Qur'an, what you should be asking is to see that you have a refuge in the one who truly is the source and the sustainer of life. So this life that you can safely live, safely love, is the life that would be sustained by Him. If you don't see your life sustained by Him, it is not a life you can safely love or live. You must stone it. You will feel like it's something that fails you, that betrays you. What you need to see when you, for example, see life is the face of God. You should see the living one giving life to you, to the things. By His life you are living. And so once you have really given that life in His hands, then you can be safe from this realm where life is from Him. There is the realm where the life is Him. It's all one realm. And I'm no longer reducing life to life that only manifests in a particular form, a material form, on a body, this material world. It needs to be replaced with the meaning that I have a Lord, a sustainer, who is a living one, who can give me life and is giving me life. And with Him is the life that I want and I love. And now I can safely live and love. Your disappointment comes from putting your trust in something that didn't have what you wanted from it. Life is not here just on its own to give you and can give you life. There is a life giver. And so your disappointment makes a lot of sense. Going from the puzzle of why am I disappointed, maybe I shouldn't be disappointed, it makes me understand that no, I should really be devastated and disappointed and angry at what I take to be falsely the provider of what I need, the false sustainer, and that's Shaitan. All the anger and ire that I have has its place in this world that is meant for all that I falsely took to be what is beautiful. And so it kind of gives, to me at least, a possible satisfactory meaning to my experience of deep disappointment and deep frustration, because in a way, so that's how it's meant to be. When I create, when I put my trust in what I haven't verified as trustworthy, I haven't seen it as really the source or having the capacity to sustain, I will be disappointed. So Shaitan al-Rajim, for me, I could say to the verse, this is true. There is Shaitan, there is Rajim, and that's Shaitan, that's the false promise. And I seek refuge from this with the one who is the sustainer, with whose life I am alive.